The power of boundaries. Protect your peace. Reclaim your life. Boundaries. It's a word we hear often but rarely stop to understand. Yet boundaries are the foundation of healthy relationships, self-respect, and a balanced life. Without them, we become drained, overwhelmed, and lost in a sea of other people's needs, expectations, and demands. With them, we protect our energy, honor our values, and create the space to grow into the person we're meant to be. So today, let's dive deep into the importance of boundaries, what they are, why they matter, and how to set and enforce them effectively. Because if you want to take control of your life, boundaries are not optional. They are essential. Let's start with the basics. What are boundaries? Boundaries are the limits we set to define what is acceptable and unacceptable in our lives. They are guidelines we create to protect our physical, emotional, and mental well-being. Think of them as invisible fences that keep out negativity and allow only what aligns with your values and goals. But here's the thing. Boundaries are not about controlling others. They are about taking responsibility for yourself. They are about saying, "This is where I am," and you begin. Boundaries are not walls, they're bridges. They help you communicate your needs while respecting others. First and foremost, boundaries protect your mental and emotional health. When you don't set boundaries, you allow others to dictate your time, energy, and emotions. You end up overcommitted, resentful, and burnt out. But when you have clear boundaries, you can say yes to what aligns with your priorities and no to what doesn't, without guilt. Boundaries also foster healthy relationships. They teach people how to treat you. Without them, you risk being taken advantage of, disrespected, or misunderstood. When you establish boundaries, you create a mutual understanding of what's acceptable, leading to deeper trust and respect. Lastly, boundaries are essential for personal growth. They give you the space to focus on your goals, dreams, and well-being. When you stop trying to please everyone else, you can finally prioritize what truly matters to you. So, if boundaries are so important, why is it so hard to set them? For many of us, the challenge lies in fear. Fear of rejection, fear of conflict, fear of being seen as selfish. We've been conditioned to believe that saying no makes us bad people, that we're supposed to be available to everyone all the time. But this belief is a lie. Saying no is not selfish, it's self-respect. And avoiding conflict doesn't keep the peace, it destroys your inner peace. Another obstacle is guilt. You might feel guilty for putting your needs first, especially if you're used to being the giver in relationships. But here's the truth. You cannot pour from an empty cup. Taking care of yourself is not only your right, it's your responsibility. Now that we understand the importance of boundaries and the challenges of setting them, let's talk about how to set boundaries effectively. This is where the real work begins. You can't set boundaries if you don't know what they are. Start by reflecting on the areas of your life where you feel stressed, resentful, or overwhelmed. These feelings are often signals that a boundary is being crossed. Ask yourself, what drains my energy? What makes me feel disrespected or uncomfortable? What do I need more of and less of in my relationships? For example, if constant work emails after hours leave you feeling burnt out, that's a sign you need to set a boundary around your availability. If a friend's constant negativity weighs on you, it's time to set limits on those conversations. Once you've identified your boundaries, it's time to communicate them. This step is crucial because people can't respect boundaries they don't know exist. Be direct but kind. Use I statements to express your needs without blaming others. For example, I need some uninterrupted time to focus on work. Let's schedule a better time to talk. I feel overwhelmed when I'm asked to take on extra tasks at the last minute. In the future, please give me advance notice. Remember, You don't owe anyone a long explanation or apology for your boundaries. Keep it simple and firm. Setting boundaries is one thing, enforcing them is another. This is where many people struggle. If someone crosses your boundary, address it immediately. Stay calm but assertive. Remind them of the boundary and the consequences of ignoring it. Imagine a serene lake surrounded by lush trees. The water is calm, reflecting the clear blue sky. A single boat floats gently, undisturbed by the world. This scene represents the tranquility we seek when we set boundaries in our lives. We agreed that work calls after 7 p.m. wouldn't happen. I need you to respect that boundary. I told you I wasn't comfortable discussing this topic. Let's change the subject. Enforcing boundaries may feel uncomfortable at first, especially if you're not used to standing up for yourself. But consistency is key. The more you enforce your boundaries, the more others will respect them. Not everyone will react positively to your boundaries. Some people might test them. Others might try to guilt you into backing down. This is especially true if they're used to you saying yes all the time. Stay strong. Remind yourself why the boundary is important. You don't need to justify your decision to anyone. If someone continues to disrespect your boundaries, it may be time to reevaluate their place in your life. Let's break this down into real-world examples of boundaries you might need in different areas of your life. I don't check emails after 6 p.m. I'm not available to work on weekends. I need at least 48 hours notice for additional tasks. I'm not comfortable with you raising your voice during arguments. I need alone time to recharge after social events. Please don't comment on my weight or appearance. I'm not lending money right now. I need 30 minutes of quiet time in the morning for myself. I can't attend every family event. I'll let you know which ones I can make. Notice how these boundaries are clear, specific, and focus on your needs rather than criticizing others. When you set and enforce boundaries, something amazing happens. You start to feel lighter, freer, more in control of your life. Your relationships improve because they're built on mutual respect. You have more energy to focus on the things that truly matter to you. And most importantly, you start to respect yourself more. Boundaries are not just about keeping others out. They're about letting the right things in. When you create space in your life, you allow room for growth, joy, and fulfillment. If you're struggling with guilt around setting boundaries, remember this. Boundaries are not about rejection. They're about protection. You're not shutting people out. You're inviting them into a healthier dynamic. You're not being selfish. You're practicing self-care. Think of boundaries as an act of love for yourself and for others. When you respect your own limits, you set an example for others to do the same. And when you honor your needs, you can show up as your best self for the people you care about. Boundaries are a lifelong practice. They require self-awareness, courage, and consistency. But the rewards are worth it. By setting boundaries, you take back control of your life. You protect your peace, honor your values, and create space for the things that truly matter. So start today. Identify one area of your life where you need a boundary. Take that first step to communicate it. Enforce it, and watch as your life begins to transform. You deserve it.